Too soon do we forget the names of our soldiers, our brave soldiers. You hear all about it when there is a successful terrorist attack and when our Jawans have died, when they've died in the battlefield. But too few times do you ever hear about bravery that has stopped terror from meeting its ghastly end. 45th Battalion of the CRPF was attacked this morning by 4 terrorists. The attack could have been fatal if the brave CRPF personnel guarding the camp had not acted in time and with alacrity. The CRPF men foiled what could have been an very violent attack in which more than 30 or 40 people may have been killed. Instead, because of their sharp thinking and their professional training, these CRPF braves stopped 4 dreaded terrorists in their tracks. Take a look at this heroic story.
Terror struck North Kashmir's Bandipora early on Monday morning. Around 4 in the morning, the Fedayeen struck at the 45 Battalion of the CRPF in Bandipora, Sumbal. 4 terrorists tried to enter the camp, first lobbing grenades and then opening fire. But the Uri-style intrusion was successfully foiled by the CRPF men. The first terrorist was gunned down within a few minutes. And not much later, the other 3 armed men were killed in a heavy exchange of fire.
आप देख सकते हैं, जो हमारा कैंप एरिया है वो इतना जो क्लोज नहीं है, ओपन है, तो ऑब्वियस बात है उनका जो मोटिव था यही था कि फर्दर अटैक को जो है सक्सेस किया जाए.
The terrorists were carrying explosives, including petrol bombs. Their plan was to take control of the camp and burn it down. But the alertness of the sentries busted their devious plot. And even as the guard retaliated, J&K police rushed to the CRPF camp.
They had come with the intention to carry out a Fedayeen attack, enter a camp and carry out a havoc, you know. And this attempt was foiled by CRPF due to the alertness of our constables and Jawans who were there in Morcha number 1, Morcha number 2, and all round camp security was strengthened.
Our morale is very high. The morale of our boys is very high. And I must say that our work in J&K is also being appreciated by everybody, be it the administration, the police there, and we are working in close collaboration with them.
Weapons like 4 AK-47 rifles and grenades were recovered. The quick-thinking CRPF men at Sumbal, which incidentally is the battalion of braveheart Chetan Cheetah, have to be saluted. If it weren't for them, the terrorists could have caused massive death and destruction. With Pooja Shali in Sumbal and Kamaljit Sandhu in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
And joining me live this evening on 5 Live, we're privileged to be joined by R.R. Bhatnagar, Director General of the CRPF. Mr. Bhatnagar, good evening to you, sir. Thank you very much. It's an honor to have you on the show. First of all, as an Indian citizen, we salute you and your men for the bravery, the alacrity, the courage and the professional training they have displayed today in Bandipora. We are doing our bit to tell India that story because I know, having covered the security forces for so many years, it's easy to forget acts of bravery. When there is a successful terror attack, everybody knows about it. But when terror attacks are foiled, very few people actually get to know about what it took to foil such acts. You must be a very proud man today, sir.
Thank you, India Today. Our Jawans deserve all the credit and they have done an outstanding piece of work. Through their alertness, presence of mind and their accurate engagement of the terrorist, we have succeeded not only in protecting our camp, our personnel, but also in neutralizing 4 Fedayeens. And as you can see, they had come well armed for a long battle and they intended to breach the security and enter the camp and cause it very serious damage.
Can you tell us a little bit more about what their intentions were, sir? Of course, they were well armed. They had assault rifles with them. They had grenades with them. They also had bottles of fuel. You know, the pictures that have been released by your service show, you know, small little bottles of fuel. And I'd like to put those pictures up on our screen. So they were planning to, you know, set the entire camp on fire or something like that, sir.
You see, as you know, when the Fedayins attack, they come prepared to inflict maximum damage.
Yes.
And fire is also one of the weapons that they can use. So they come entrenched to be able to breach the perimeter, stay inside, and set them up for a long fight with the security forces and cause a lot of damage to the camp, its property, as well as to our Jawans and officers.
So, Mr. Bhatnagar, we understand from some members of the CRPF and the J&K police that while the identities of these 4 terrorists is not known just yet, there may be reason to believe that they are not locals. They may be from the other side. Do we have any clarity on that just yet, sir? Are they Pakistani nationals?
It is not established yet, though it is suspected that they are Pakistani nationals. Which Tanjeem they belong to, that also is still uncertain, but investigations are going on and we could come to a conclusion soon.
The modus operandi of these particular terrorists, you know, seems familiar, Mr. Bhatnagar. You know, the intention to infiltrate a camp and, like you pointed out, create maximum damage as quickly as possible, you know, exact as many casualties as possible, try to catch the camp off guard. But that didn't happen in this particular case. What would you owe that to, sir? Of course, we know it's the bravery of the Jawans and the very quick reaction by the teams there. But what else would you owe it to? Better standard operating procedures, sharper reaction times now?
See, it was definitely the alertness of our sentries and their quick neutralization and their very accurate firing skills,
yes,
and their correct engagement with the jihadis which worked. The other point was that we have also strengthened our camp security. We have done our drills, we have done our trainings, we have looked at contingency plans. We have also rehearsed as to when the camp is under attack, how would the reinforcement come, where would they take position, and how would we cover so that we can protect our camp against even a Fedayeen attack. And it was because of their alertness, their bravery, that they could execute it to a dot, and we got excellent results.
Sir, you know, many of us know, and you know, the people who watch the news especially know that the CRPF operates in some of the most challenging scenarios, not just in Jammu and Kashmir, but in other parts of the country as well. They are almost permanently in harm's way, especially in Jammu and Kashmir, as this particular incident has also shown. Will this incident, you know, we're just trying to understand it from a non-operational perspective, sir, but since you're the chief of the CRPF, will an example like this do a lot to boost morale, embolden, strengthen the troops, and, you know, make them even better at what they already do?
See, the morale of our Jawans and officers is very high, and this kind of an achievement will definitely boost it further. In all the theatres, we will certainly get a boost, and it is the hard work, training, and the morale of our people that has paid off.
Mr. R.R. Bhatnagar, once again, we salute you and your team, your men, your Jawans. Like you said, it's the bravery of the sentries that has resulted in 4 Fedayins being killed and no casualties on our side. We salute you, we salute your service, and thank you very much for joining us this evening on 5 Live. Thank you so much, sir. Well, we're also joined for a quick update by India Today's Kamaljeet Sandhu as well as Ashutosh, who join us for more on the story. Kamaljeet, a very, very close call. You know, this appeared to have been a kind of Uri rerun. It could easily have been an Uri rerun. The CRPF has reason to celebrate, you know, with what they've been able to achieve today.
Well, Shiv, in a certain way, yes. But remember, Pakistan continues with its policy to bleed India by 1,000 cuts. They will be sending in more jihadis. We've seen that happening over the past 1 month. there have been at least 20 terrorists who've been shot dead in Kashmir, especially in the North Kashmir, where infiltration bids are taking place. South Kashmir is also about indigenous militants and obviously how to deal with that. But CRPF, which has been deployed, and especially in Bandipora, which at one point of time was a very unsafe zone, but yes, that's been sanitized now. Today's operation was especially commendable. The reason is, one, there was alertness of the sentry. The moment the first grenades were launched, that's the time the firefight really began. The other three terrorists who wanted to enter the camp and obviously burn down the camp later on, wanted to take a vantage point inside the camp so that they could actually prolong the encounter. That could not happen. The other support came in because of the joint operations with the Jammu and Kashmir police, their camp simultaneously next to the CRPF 45 battalion camp itself. They gave the cover fire, and that's when the terrorists were really trapped. They were sandwiched in between. That is how this entire encounter was ended in 45 minutes. Now, what is going to be important is that even though there were search operations which were carried on, incendiary material, AK-47s, UBJL, grenade thrower, all that.
Thanks very much, Kamal. We'll keep coming back to you on that developing story and get more. Remember, the CRPF Director General said they are suspected Pakistani nationals. We'll get a confirmation that right here on India Today. We're taking a quick break. On the other side, the GSLV Mark III, India's most ambitious, heaviest rocket, is just minutes away from blasting off from the Sri Harikota Satish Dhawan Space Center in Peninsular India. We're going to have live coverage of that. You're back on 5 Live just in time for some disturbing breaking news coming in from Mumbai. A trustee of Andheri's reputed school, very reputed school in Mumbai, the trustee has been booked for sodomy and sexual abuse of children. On the 18th of May 2017, the man who's a trustee of the school is right now out of the country. Another female teacher of the same school has also been named in the complaint. We cannot name the school just yet for legal reasons. The victim, a girl, was a student of this international school where the German man was a trustee. He is currently outside the country. He's a foreign national, and a case has been booked against him for sexual abuse and sodomy of children in a prestigious international school in Mumbai's Andheri area. Let's go straight across to India Today's Vidya joining us. Okay, we're going to get Vidya in just a moment, but this breaking story coming to you right here on India Today. We'll have more information in just a short while. A police complaint has been filed. Charges have been framed as well, but the man in question, a trustee of this Andheri school accused of sodomy and sexual abuse, is not in the country. He is said to be a German national. His identity and the identity of the school are being withheld for legal reasons at this point. These are allegations. Charges have been filed.